Good evening to one and all present here. I, Uttara, on behalf of second year MA HRM DG Vaishnav College, welcome you all for today's webinar on the topic Human Resource Information System. Let us welcome our speaker for the day, Mr. S. Arun Kumar. Mr. Arun is a human resource management professional with 17 plus years work experience with strong business acumen, having analytical bent of mind and experienced across all the gamut of HRM and its spheres, specializing in talent management, organizational development, learning and development, and talent acquisition. He looks for challenging assignments, making difference to an organization of repute. He has experience in working across manufacturing, engineering, banking, sales and marketing, R&D, biotechnology, BPO, IT, pharmaceutical, and power sectors. He also holds compelling skill of being a polyglot person. He is exposed to various psychometric personality assessment tools which are MBTI, HBDI, DISC, FIRO-B, PsychTech tool, and user of Jombay psychometric assessment tool. He is also a life member to National Institute of Personnel Management and Indian Society of Training and Development. He is a certified trainer of first-time manager by Ken Blanchard International, certified auditor of ISO 9001, 2015 by TUV Nord, certified practitioner of psychometric behavioral assessment tool, DISC-based personal profile assessment, and human job analysis by Thomas International UK, a few to mention among his other certifications. He has comprehended business drivers and contributed in the setup mechanisms that drive business performance through people. We welcome you, sir. Now, I would like to introduce our head of the Department of Human Resource Management, DG Vaishnav College, Dr.N.C. Martin. He is a highly experienced academician and has about 20 years of academic and administrative experience as professor, HOD, dean, and registrar. He did his postgraduate in labor management and PhD labor laws from Tamil Nadu Institute of Labor Studies. He started his career as a lecturer from the same institution. He held various positions in the arts and science colleges, engineering, and media college. He held academic positions in various educational institutions such as Sri Chandraprabhu Jain College as assistant professor and HOD of MSW department, Sam's College of Engineering and Technology as a professor and HOD of MBA department. He was also the placement officer for entire division of Sam's College of Engineering and Technology. During his tenure, he successfully placed engineering and management graduates in top-notch companies of manufacturing and service sectors across the country. He continued his career in St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science as a Dean of Academics, and LV Prasad Film School, one of the best film schools in Asia, working as a registrar. He acted as a jury representing the Employers Federation of Southern India for the selection of companies for the best practices for the year 2018 to 19. He has added number of research papers and publications to his credit, and he is expert in the subject of labor legislation and industrial relations. He has given centum results in various HR specialized subjects in the university examinations. We welcome you, sir. This meeting is recorded for educational purposes. In case of any doubts or questions, the participants can unmute themselves or type the questions in the chat box. Now, I request Dr. N.C. Martin to speak a few words about the topic for the day.
Yeah, thank you, Uttara, for the introduction. So very happy, good evening to one another. So on behalf of management, Sri Ashok Kumar Mudraji and our principal, Captain Dr. Santosh Babu, I welcome all the participants, students, dear professors, and HR fraternities, and my special welcome to our resource person for the day, S. Arun Kumar, Manager Human Resources, Kemin Industries, South Asia Private Limited. So the topic for the day, the Human Resource Information System. So we all know that Human Resource Information System, that is HRIS, is a software that combines a number of systems and process of systems. So this software will be useful for easy management of human resources. And by using this software, so we can manage various functions of HR like storing, analyzing HR data, and also like other functions like payroll management, recruitment, welfare administration, and track the record of attendance employees, and employee performance management, and tracking the competency and the training record of employees, so like so on. So the data are very important asset of any organization, and so with this human resource information software system. So it will be very easy to access this data for the day-to-day management of human resources. So with the application of the software, the employees and the managers can locate solutions and informations so quickly without the need to consult any outside agencies. So an human resource information system, so it can also reduce the amount of that is mundane paperwork, and so manual record keeping and other duplication of work is minimized, and it is also very cost effective. So by effectively implementing the human resource information system, so the organization can increase their productivity. So by its implementation, so the manual processing is also reduced, so the recurring errors can be eliminated to a larger extent. So by this, you can say by using the software, the employees can update the contact informations and other details directly in the portal itself. So this system also improves the operational efficiency by using the tool called there are various tools, but using the sapling tools, and they can upload any document, say like a hard copy of the forms to PDF images, and these files can be easily converted to a digital file, and also can be easily uploaded by employees, and they can also make their electronic signatures on the required documents. So another benefit of human resource information system, so it can be very useful for making informed and timely decision making. So it helps the HR managers to take important decisions on the employee retention, and also they can plan for a future prospect for the organization growth. So if the human resource information system has been implemented effectively, no doubt it can improve the employee satisfaction. So an effective and well managed human resource information system, it can promote better employee and employee relations. So it is a very, we can say, user-friendly employee portal. So this will allow employees to navigate their benefits and the better options. So and they can review and update information. So they need not waste the time by giving the request for like leave and getting an approval from the boss. So thereby the wastage of time is also being minimized. And so So the right, on the whole, I could say that the right human resource information system so will save HR team a valuable time, and it helps them to work smarter and allow them to provide strategic guidance to the company's decision makers. So if human resource information system is been implemented properly, so with the right tools, so it can address company current needs, planned growth, and also future business objectives. So with this, I'll conclude and give the session to our resource person, Mr. Kumar, to throw much light and insight on the very wonderful topic on HRIS. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Martin. You actually made my work so easy. You said it all.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Uttara, and the college professors and deans. The introduction was so too nice. It wasn't required, you know. We are just a small fraternity, part of the HR fraternity, doing our bit of activity. Learn. Okay. So, friends, first quick one hygiene. I hope you are all able to hear me. Can anyone acknowledge once again?
Yes, sir.
You're able to see me also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll share my presentation, then I'll start talking about it. Now, Dr. Martin has given me that responsibility. Okay, is the presentation visible?
Yes, sir.
The only presentation, right? In the presentation mode?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, so friends, you already know a lot about this topic, HR information system. Okay, but I would like to touch a practical aspect of this particular topic, which generally is seen in only organizations where we use it, implement it, use it, and to the best of our advantage. Okay, so I want to give you the practical perspective for this topic. Okay, now before understanding the HRS, let's understand these 3 words. I want you all to focus and understand these 3 words. What is the 3 letters here? ERP. Have you all heard this letter before? Anybody tell me what is this abbreviation, full form of this word, these 3 letters? Okay, so ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Now, what is ERP all about, and which is very important for you to understand, because we're talking about a topic which is nothing but a software. ERP is a kind of software system, that helps and run the entire business, including processes in the finance, manufacturing, supply chain, customer relationship management, procurement, and many more. Okay, so you must understand the HRIS is nothing but a software system, actually called ERP system. Okay, now this is a software for HR. That's why it's called HR information system, but it's nothing but a software which is largely called as ERP. Now, as the word of the meaning goes, enterprise resource planning. So this software helps us to understand and use the entire resources in an organization in a systematic manner, so that we don't miss out any steps. It is the software ERP, likewise, is available for all the other functions in the organization, not only HR. We have a similar software in finance or supply chain. Finance, largely we have a software called Pinnacle. In supply chain, we have order management, warehouse management tools. For salespeople, there's a very good software called SAP CRM. Okay, so these all come under the same umbrella of software called ERP, and now we would exclusively talk about the HR software, which is nothing but HRIS. HRIS. So what all are here? We have H, which is human, R, which is resources, I is the information bit of it, and the system around, and then you have the organization here, the company, then the employee, and the IT department, which basically helps us to integrate all this with other softwares in the company. Now, HRIS, as it is known to you all, is nothing but a systematic way of storing data and information of each and every employee, and that helps us to make some planning, decision making, submit returns, reports to top management. Now, please understand in a simple language, like you all are probably using now, the diary to make some notes, make some references, records. We all use paper pencil mechanism, right? Now, the same thing can also be used in a digital platform through a small application today, which is available in the mobile phones, which helps us to organize well, make a note of our task, helps us to give us a reminder. Anytime we forget, we can just go back and check it out, what was that, and we can follow it. Okay, HRI is in a similar manner we do for a large setup for our employees' records. It's nothing but an employee record keeping system, where it is used in the entire employee life cycles. Okay, starting from the recruitment part, then you have the appraisal, which is PMS, learning and development, payroll. It helps us to cover in all this employee life cycle, and we have exclusive softwares which is called the HRIS to help in each and every small aspect. Now, it helps us to collect the data. Now, please understand, like in any system, it is the input versus the output. Whatever information you feed in, the output will come accordingly. So this system, this software, it helps us to record the data. So it helps us to record employees' information, his profile, name, designations, date of birth, salary details, when he joined, different promotions he had in an organization, and many more. And that helps us to retrieve any information, any number of time and any time of the day. It's important because if it's a small organization which has only around 10 to 15 people, maybe we don't require a technology, but we can just have a small system to collect and retrieve the data. But imagine if we have a large organization where we have employees in hundreds and thousands. We cannot store a data in a paper diary or a small Excel sheet. We need a software which helps us to enter all this data and get back retrieve whenever we want it. We can make umpty number of analysis reports with respect to the people and the jobs, and many more. So that's the crux of the entire HRIS. It's this software basically helps us to do record keeping of the entire employee of an organization. Now HRIS, there are many top leaders or software companies who make this software. They actually try to follow every step involved in a particular function. Like if you have a recruitment, so it starts from identifying a job position, creating a job description for that particular position, then going about looking for a new candidate. So we want to upload the requirement in the job portals or in the internal reference portals, then getting the resumes, the CV which we get, and then shortlisting profiles of the candidate, then putting them into the recruitment selection process, the interview process, and many more. This is done by these top or companies like the SAP SuccessFactors, Oracle Human Capital, Workday, MS Viva. Likewise, they have done this entire analysis, the steps involved in each and every process, and created these softwares. We can actually go pick up off the shelf this software, use it, implement it in our organization with basic customization, so that we don't miss out any steps and make our system robust. If not, we can also customize this software. We can make this software through a local software company and tell them what is our need, how we create the system, and not follow the entire large, because many company setup may not help us to follow off-the-shelf software, because we may not be large enough to follow all these systems. So we can actually customize, build in our own HRIS system in an organization and use it. Now, this software can be installed in our company's own server, okay, and use it when we want. If not, we can also use it through a third-party platform and use it in cloud, as today that's the trend and technology, and that can be done by the service provider, and you can use it anywhere we want. So this is a software primarily which we used to help us run our systems. The HR system can be customized or purchased off shelf from this company, can be installed and implemented in our own servers, the local organization server, or be installed in the cloud-based, which is outside the company and can be retrieved anytime and provided by the service provider. Okay, widely named, people call it HRIS, HRMS. You can give any name, but it's nothing but a software for HR people and their usage. Now, what are the benefits of this HRIS? Are you able to see the screen? Benefits of HRIS? Is the slide moving properly?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay. Now, why should we use this software? Because it provides sufficient and comprehensive ongoing information about our employees and the jobs. Please note, comprehensive, because in our company, when we have employee with a number of 100 and above, 1,000 above, it is impossible for us to have the data in a Excel or in a paper pencil mechanism and get the information whenever we want. We can't do that. Hence, we need a software. And by just a click of a button, click of an employee's name or a click of employee roll number or ID number, we can get entire information of a particular employee, and which can further be used for his promotion or to check what kind of training programs he's attended, how many promotions he's got, what all kind of exclusive key work he's done, what kind of rewards he's received over a period of time of his experience in the organization. Everything, you name it, you can get it. HRIS also helps to get some reports and make some analysis. So that's why I say it's a comprehensive ongoing information, because it is not a statutory. It's ongoing. You have to keep updating the information, and it give you a live throw data. That's why it's called as comprehensive and ongoing. Okay. If it's 10-year employee, no, even HRP keeps changing. Nobody can remember that who attended which training, what was the large changes with respect to a particular employee. Okay. Now, as I said, HRIS is for everybody. It's not only for employee. It also helps in the compliance part of it, with respect to following the statutory norms, the labor regulations, the labor licenses, which is often asked by the labor inspectors, the licenses, the tax, PF challans, ESI. All the data can be fed in HRIS and can be retrieved at any given time of the day. More importantly, it helps us to save time. We don't have to go search, we don't have to looking for documents or paper, but it just throws because it's a software. It also helps us to create and build HR strategies. Everything happens in a system. That is the modern way of working, where you're able to be on time, on toe, and get any information we want and work towards our future planning with respect to our strategies or succession planning, any kind of development initiative we want to do, everything for that matter. This is a repository for us. And this all is done by the HR department people, the management people. But there's one bit of this software which also has an access to each and every employee. Employee gets an access to information related to their profile, and they can get some data, certifications, letter, approval documents, anything with a click of a button, which is called as employee self portal. If any employee want to apply for a leave, if he's want to apply for a particular loan and he wants some affidavit document, proof of address, anything for that matter, he don't have to physically go and talk to the HR individual. And it's actually not possible in large organization, because HR is primarily sitting somewhere else, the employee is sitting and working somewhere else. Today, also considering the virtual environment we all operate in. So this portal has an access for employee, which is called self-services, where employee can himself go, check his data, click of a button, he gets that information approved by HR, and he can take those documents, download those documents, create a employee experience. Now, where all HR uses, I was just talking about this, okay, the application, the different function. So you see, starting from the recruitment part of it, the employee tracking system, starting when they apply for a job, the resumes we get, we can track those. If somebody is in the recruitment selection process, which part of the selection process and a candidate is, whether he's selected, not selected, all that can be tracked, but just click of a button. Then training program developments, what all kind of training program one has got, how many number of hours, what kind of certification is done, because this is all a repository for an employee, and which is required at various occasions in an employee life cycle in an organization. And this software helps us to get those data at click of a button. You have succession planning, self-services I just spoke about, report analysis, and make various analytics out of it. Then below I have payroll. So my payroll department, the comp and ben team, can get every information about the compensation, the remuneration of an employee, the benefits, what he is being getting, and updated on regular basis. PMS, performance management system, time and attendance. You know it all. This is actually There would be one comprehensive software, maybe like the Oracle or the SAP, where everything is in one particular software. Or we can also purchase and use independent software for each activity. Small software only for recruitment purpose, another HRIS only for training, LMS, learning management system as it is called, or a separate software only for PMS, appraisal system, time and attendance. We can have either small separate software if organization is not able to afford the big softwares, else can have one software which covers all these gamut of HR functions. Okay. Now, very important aspect. How do you implement these HRIS in organization? What are the steps involved? Now, there are 5 steps involved, namely the planning stage, analysis, designing, implementing, and then finally maintaining of the software. Now, in the planning stage, if you see, setting up the process, first of all, an organization with their number of employees have to take a decision whether we need the software or not. Do we have the capability to use the software? Do we have the resource to use the software or no? And also the money aspect. Do we have the money enough to purchase the software, use it appropriately? Because I know organizations who have softwares, but then they are not using it. They don't know how to use because they don't have the resource and expertise in the HR subject, HRIS. And then idly it's the software is idle. So in the planning stage, you have to think about all that. Who's going to be working on it, which is the team selecting and everything. Then the analysis is about which software to purchase. As I mentioned, if you have money, if you have a muscle power, you can buy large established organization who are selling this HRIS software off the shelf, like SAP Success Factors, Cornerstone On Demand for LMS, and likewise. Else, use your local vendor to get the customized for your own benefit, for your own way of working, and use it, because prices also will be less comparatively. Large softwares like the Oracle, Success Factors, or SAP are all cost in crores, Indian rupee crore, $1 million. But if it's a customized, local made by some small vendor, it will cost you in some lakhs. It will not be very costly. So you have to make that analysis. That's the second stage. The third stage is designing. Designing the flow of information based on your organization, based on your policies, procedures, system. It has to be completely customized. Off the shelf may not work all the time for any and all organization. So there has to be examining done, what flow I need to be having for my informations, how I'm going to use it. Okay. Then integrating these existing systems, subsystems, that's most important. If it's not able to integrate with, assume you're taking a recruitment ERP, if it's not able to integrate with the appraisal, it's not going to help it. If the appraisal PMS software, if it's not able to integrate with the payroll, it's not going to help. The integration is important. So all that aspect you'll put in the designing stage, make sure that there is a possibility. If not, fill those gaps. Then the fourth stage, which is implementing. Now that you have decided what you want, which particular software, have told them what you want, now you have to implement. So you have a set of people who are going to work on that, who's going to drive those things, be accountable, have the admin access to those softwares, and help us collect the data, help us retrieve any reports, make analysis when we want. And it's an ongoing. You cannot just purchase and leave it. Someone have to be accountable to make sure it is updated all the time. As I said, it's input versus output. The input has to be constant, updated. If not, the output may not be relevant anymore. And finally, the maintenance aspect. Time to time checkups and ensuring if it's correct. So auditing is important aspect. You must audit that your information, whatever you're entering, is correct or no. So these are the 5 stages of implementing an HRIS, and in every stage you have expertise required. You have people who have to be dedicatedly involved in this. Now, The suppliers of HRIS, as I was telling, there are many vendor in the company outside who are having these softwares. And as I said, they are all software companies. They make these softwares, largely called as ERP, right? Enterprise Resource Planning. And this is for HR, Enterprise Resource Planning for HR, and HR Information System, as we call. So you must understand, HRIS is nothing but a ERP software for HR people. And likewise, you have for finance, we just spoke about, customer management system, supply chain, and likewise. So the most top companies are like the SAP. We have SuccessFactors, SAP HRIS. Then we have Oracle Human Capital Management, as it is called. Earlier, it used to call as PeopleSoft. Now the name is changed and they call it as HCM, which is Human Capital Management. Then there's another American company called Ultimate Software, mostly used by Western organizations. Then we have a company called iSIMS, who provide the software exclusively only for recruitment, the selection process only. They don't have any other aspect of the HR cycle, but only the recruitment part of it. Then we have the Cornerstone On Demand, primarily used for LMS, learning management system. Then you have another most famous, Workday. It has all the gamut of HR. And then another latest, which is in trend, is Microsoft Viva. So these are some of the top HRIS softwares available in the market. An organization can choose which would fit their pocket, which would fit their organization's system. Now, this is something I believe will be most important for you all. What can I make out of it? Now, if anyone is interested in information system, the numbers, the software aspect of it, okay, you can take up a role of HR analyst, specialist managing only HRIS. In large organization, we want specialists. Every individual HR or recruitment person or a HR operation person are not enough to manage an HRIS. We need a dedicated resource. So there are positions which are exclusive, managing only HRIS in organization. So you have HR specialists, and then you have HR analytics, who throw and retrieve many data likewise. Because today it's all about analysis. You have umpty features and benefits of making reports of from your system. Okay, you can become a subject matter expert with all the software available here, and you can call yourself HRIS specialist. Okay, now one thing I am not sure if anybody know, but the software part, as I said, it's about designing the flow of the work. Okay, so you can actually become a software engineer or consultant for HRIS. You'll be called as a software consultant for HRIS. You can work in organizations like the Oracle, Google, or Tech Mahindra, who make these softwares, who create these softwares. When we talk about software, friends, there are two aspects. One is the coding aspect, where someone who have to make some coding, using those software language, C, C++, or Java. You have to do some coding, enter, and then create the software. Then there's a functional consultant who actually tells the coder what he wants, how he wants the system to be. So it's the functional consultant who's actually the domain expert in that particular subject, and tells the software engineer who actually does the coding to tell him that, okay, I want this way, to please create that flow and create the software. So today there are many people who are not an engineer, who are not a computer science graduate, but maybe a BCom guys, maybe an MBA HR, who have interest in this particular software and have done some additional courses from NIIT or Aptech or any other institute exclusively on HR subject or HRIS, and then become themselves as a HRIS specialist, functional consultant. They'll be called as a software consultant for HRIS. They will not be doing the regular HR job like we do, where you do yourself involved in doing a recruitment or a training, but they'll be involved in designing the software, implementing it, redefining it, helping organization in the sales and pre-sales of software. They are nothing but, in a normal jargon, like an IT person. Okay, so that's an area you have to think. If you are still interested in a software, you still have an opportunity. Don't worry that I don't have a computer science background and I can't become, but there is still an opportunity. Think about it, try to explore more, you'll get to know what I'm talking about. Become a domain expert, because they want people who knows the HR and then tell the software people how to work on the HR. Okay, and here is a small screenshot I have taken from a HRIS system, which will tell us like the how many active employees are there, what is the financial year I'm talking about, what is the payroll, which particular month salary, how much has to go, how many active employees, inactive employees, employees present today, absent today. This is like one of the screenshot you can get from the HRIS, which is a quick gist or quick idea for you. Likewise, you can have for payroll, leave management, attendance, learning management system, which has all these kind of data through Excel, bar, pie charts, and it will be easy for you to assimilate the information. So that's it, friend, from my end. There's no more slides here. Any question, I'll be more than happy to answer. That's from my side. Are you all there? So students, I'll be more than happy to help you answer some question if you have related to this. My presentation bit is completed now.
Participants can unmute themselves or type their questions in the chat box if you have any doubts or queries.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Pavitra.
Hi, sir. So that was a great session, sir. Thank you. I have a question, sir.
Yes, Pavitra. Go ahead.
So talking about this HR analytics and HR analyst position and all. So this HR analytics based position almost entirely, like as you talked, it revolves around the software background only. So you think like what preparations we have to make prior so that we don't feel difficult on the field in order to, make sure that HR analytics part and the other side of the HRIS to be, makes easier for us.
Okay. Pavitra, there's nothing exclusive preparation you have to do, but you only have to have love towards reports, love towards numbers, love towards making presentation and making analysis of the data which you have in your hand. Okay, if you like making those data crunching, with available data, you don't need to be exclusively specialist in the maths or anything. But if you enjoy making reports, do data interpretations, that is enough. That basic is enough to become a HR analyst. Okay, now exclusively you may require some statistical formulas, like we have studied in schools, like how to take the mean, median, mode, what is the deviation, standard deviations. Those are all the basics. If you have, which you already have studied in school, I'm assuming, will help you to make a better analysis. So if you love
Yes, I get
numbers,
it.
if you love data, I think you'll be able to make it. You don't have to exclusively study something different.
Got it, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So I saw some question popping up here. Okay, I have a question here. I'll read. Priyadarshini, Does the HRIS need to integrate with and to be component other system? Okay, Priyadarshini, in most cases, yes, sometimes no. It depends on what you're working. For example, if you have one software, say you're taken a software like SAP is automatically integrated. It has like one large software in every different buckets you have already integrated in that. Okay, but if you don't have a ambit of one large software, but you have small software only for recruitment, small software separately purchased for appraisal or a payroll, then you need to get integrated. Otherwise, one software will help. So based on your organization's capacity, need, number of employees, that would decide what kind of integration you may be required to do. As such, you only have the payroll, which today generally is required to integrate. Otherwise, everything can be worked independently. Okay, so I have a second question here from Vaishali. What, according to you, is the hardest challenge one might face of handling HRIS? Okay, let me tell you, the hardest challenge one may face is monotonous, being bored. Because as I said, it's all about making analysis, making presentation, data crunching, report making. Okay, and the data will be in large number. Example, if you're working with some payroll data, you'll have huge number of Excel sheet in front of you with the salary details, and you have to make all the mathematics, permutation, combinations, and come out with the report which is required. Initially you may like it, but over a period of time you may get bored. So unless you really enjoy making those reports, analysis, analytical bent of mind, it's good. Otherwise you'll get bored over a period of time. So that's something you have to, if you have a passion towards these report making, data analytics, then enjoy it. Otherwise, no. Any more question, friends? Thank you, Vaishali. My pleasure. Ask some practical questions, friends.
Arun sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
Dr.
you
N.C.
mentioned that no, a software can be customized, and so what are the factors can be considered for customization? And so when they go for a customization, so how costly is the software, and how that can be beneficial for the organization?
Right. Sir, customization is always little, a pain part of it, because you have many factors to be understand. For example, one is whether you want that particular software to be implemented or installed in your own local server, the organization server, or if it will be in the provider's server, and then you have to go and fetch from that data. So your bandwidth, your server has to be that large enough to manage that width or a data. Okay, then customization, you also have an aspect of integrating other existing software. Imagine you have a payroll software XYZ, and you're trying to now bring in a software for appraisal system. Both have to have softwares which can marry each other. If one does not have that feature, then you cannot customize, you cannot integrate it. Okay, then the organization's policies and procedure about customization from headquarters, somebody who's in US, and then you're working for India, if the policies are not same, because specifically when it comes about the compliance aspect, that's different organization to organization. So one off the shelf or customization for a India region may not help for other region if you have only one software, and if you don't have an approval to make those changes. So that time we are not able to effectively use the software, even if it has features, and we get stuck in the approval procedures, software integration challenges. Those are some big challenges we face. Were you able to answer, sir? I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question from Tulsi Priya here. What are some of the major data from HRIS that influences business today? Okay. Now, from HRIS that influences business, okay, you have primary data about the demography, the employee, what is the number of employee, the large size, how many male employee, women employee, which talks about the diversity and inclusion aspect. Okay, the organization have to be very uh, focused and observant of that. What kind of culture you are building in an organization, which has the data connected from to the HRIS. If do you have a employee experience bit of it in your HRIS or no? The employee self portal aspect, that has to integrate. So that will tell you that whether you are giving the experience, what kind of experience the employee is getting, whether he is able to download his pay slip easily, or he has to go and ask HR all the time. And say if he is applying for a car loan and if he wants some address proof, can he just get it from a click of a button, or he has to go stand in front of HR's door? These are all the ace of business and an indication about an organization which is best place to work. So HRIS must consider all these aspects when we are deciding what to in the implementation stage, what all we should consider and have it. I hope I have answered Priya. Then okay, Subhashri, I have, do companies give the proper training to the employee in HRIS? Yes, Subhashri, largely yes. Organizations do give training programs. Mostly, as I said, it's about the domain knowledge versus the software knowledge. If someone who's into HR for 5-6 years and above, he knows the entire HR aspect, the how an HR recruitment function works, how an L&D function works, how the PMS works. So for him, the software may not be really a glitch, a trouble. He'll be able to figure out himself by click of a button. Otherwise, company does give training program. Okay, Balagauri is asking, even though digitalizing and using software to manage HR function makes it easy to work, isn't security a big concern? How can one take care of? Yes, security is a concern to be considered. That's where I said, when you are purchasing or implementing a software, one of the large question comes to organization is, where is that data going to be sitting? Whether it will be sitting in our own internal server, or it will be in the provider server. Most of the big organizations, they don't give the freedom to us to have that software in our own server. They say we cannot, the data is too large, it has to be in their servers and we have to access this from there. And if it is in their servers, it's like you are keeping your fridge in others neighbor's room, and every time you're going and taking your vegetable, fruits and milk from in the fridge, and every time someone else also get access to it. So that's one of the biggest challenge. Largely, of course, there are a lot of checks and balances, we have access controls, but yes, that's one of the biggest concerns, security. That's why people prefer to make sure the HRIS is in their own server sitting, and not also in the cloud. But today cloud is becoming more popular, primarily considering the money aspect. These softwares are a large and a huge amount. So small organizations who cannot purchase the software, don't have that muscle power, they go for shared softwares, which is provided by an organization and then sitting in their own server. And the company is okay to compromise in that bit, or they feel we are not much worried about that, and we can, just start using it somewhere and later we can see of purchasing it. Okay, so that's next. I have Narendran. To what extent can artificial intelligence be used in HRIS? AI is becoming trend these days. That's right. So Narendra, AI has a role to play. As I said, in HRIS, when we talk about the report generation, the analytics part, analysis part, AI plays a role. As I said, today with the click of a button, I'm able to get the report. The best example here could be the Power BI from Microsoft. There is a new tool by Microsoft called Power BI, which is all about making these kind of analysis. Similarly, in HRIS, every HRIS provider gives us that opportunity or that benefit of making those analysis, and AI is inbuilt in most of the large and best HRIS, and we are able to play with the data. We don't have to customize it. We don't have to call the provider all the time. How do I retrieve this? But the AI plays a role, and we get the data easily. It gives us the relevant information. It's like the Google, we are searching for something and it will throw automatically that you're looking for this data. Here is the number for you. It is today the provider itself is considering the AI part and in building all that in the HRIS system. As a company, we don't have to separately ask them, but the provider is working on it and he gives it inbuilt. And today, in fact, another big trend, I'll tell you friends, is about these small applications. The Android application, the apps as it is called. So we have small apps which today organizations are using to create employee experience. You have the software through computer you log in, but you also have an app version today, which every employee can download in his own mobile phone and access the organization's data on the go. Get information related to his leaves, balances, pay slips, any other old data, everything in a click of a button from a mobile phone. So that's an employee experience we have. And specifically in large organizations like TCS, Cognizant, Infosys, where they are in huge numbers, thousands and thousands, they do not have a direct access to the HR. They don't even know where is their own HR sitting, whether they are sitting in Chennai or Bangalore or Delhi, they don't know. They communicate with them only through system. They have their own HRIS portal username and login ID. They'll click and they'll say request for pay slip, request for resignation, request for special training program. Everything works that way. And then if needed, HR will call and connect and talk to them if required, or everything happens through software. There the people touch is missing. That's another big issue, but it's possible. Okay. Moanta is asking how extensive use of HRS led to reduction of human element in HRS. Practically speaking, today, yes, that is becoming a challenge where software is doing our part of work. Okay. Specifically in payroll, if you see, it's an exclusive specialized field. Mostly it is outsourced. So companies like Aon Hewitt or ADP, who are specialists in comp and benefits, payroll, organizations give that bit to them. So we may not have our in-house payroll specialist. We go and take the service from outsider. And then for recruitment, we are all using automation today, where if I need a specific, if I have a data, I click it, the data in the system throws me the relevant resumes from the data, relevant people who are available in the organization who have the specific skill set. For example, if I have 1,000 employee working in my organization, and today I have a new position for say PeopleSoft, I'll just click in my software that please tell me in my organization employees who have expertise in PeopleSoft. The system will throw me data. The AI part of it will throw me data and tell me how many employees in my organization have that qualification of PeopleSoft. So today I don't need an exclusive small person sitting and working on it. It's like instead of 2 people, I am reducing to 1. Instead of 3 person, I am reducing to 1. That's how it's happening. Yes. Reduction of human element. What are the challenges in facing HRIS today? Okay. Now, challenges, as I said, please understand, all said and done, HRIS is a boon. It's a advantage. It helps us to work more efficiently, accuracy is there, analysis can be done, but end of the day we are working with people for people. The human element, the touch element is there, you cannot negate it. There you have to have someone involved and working backend to make sure their connection is there, the human connect. HRIS, as I said, if I use one colloquial word, it's nothing but a record keeping. You know, whatever I want, I can get the record, you know, just enter. As I said, diary, paper pencil diary versus a digital diary. And as I said, it's input versus output. So garbage in, garbage out. Whatever I'm feeding, that same data can be taken out, make number of analysis, but the human element cannot be replaced. So we still have a role to play. We still want people who can do the recruitment for us. We still want people who can talk to our employees and give the emotional, fulfill the emotional aspect. Okay, Pavitra is asking question. Without taking the complete privilege of HRIS, do you think HR should do some background research work also? Okay, without taking the complete privilege of HRIS, do you think HR should do some background research work also? Okay, in fact, Pavitra, I'm assuming you're asking that we should not depend on HRIS completely, but companies should work themselves. Is that say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like the data that we get out of HRIS, we can't completely depend on the data, like what the software is giving to us, right? So that's
Exactly. So yes, again, the answer is yes. As I said, whatever information you want, you can feed in the HRIS, and then that will only come back to us. There's nothing new will come out of the HRIS. Okay. Now, specifically, every year organizations take part in salary surveys, comp and benefit surveys, okay, which is largely done by specialist organizations like Willie Tower Watson, Aon Hewitt, Mercer, who do the salary survey. That information required. I need to know what is the latest trend, how much a software engineer is paid, what is the base level salary for a HR executive or a finance executive. That is possible only when I do the real-time check. So every year organization take part in that. Second, I also take part in employee experience surveys, employee opinion surveys within my organization. Those data is required from external. HRIS cannot help me in that way. And then later, once I have the data, then I feed it in the HRIS, and then I use it for my later future purpose for analysis. So it's input versus output, friends. Very clear. If you make error in HRIS, the result what you get, the analysis reports what you'll get also will be wrong, will have errors.
got it, sir. Got it. Thank you.
So do HRIS system fail? The answer is yes, but 99% we don't allow it, because as I said, it is a base data for all HR for employees. So it is highly secured. As I said, it is made sure that we have double, triple firewalls, so that no error happens, no virus catches, and we don't lose the employee data. Organizations are very careful when it's handling the HRIS, because it's the data, personal data of every employee. We do not allow any mistake or any mischief work with the HRIS. Organization have double, triple firewalls, checks, and everybody don't get those access. It's only the top leaders or a specialist who have those access only. Every employee in an HR organization department will not also not have the access. So it's actually highly secured, used diligently. Any more question, friends? Today, the trend is moving towards automation, AI automation. So HRIS software is used to get many analysis and reports, and AI is playing a role there. And there, we need people who understand these data's number, as I say, an analytical bent of mind. So that is helping us to get quality data. We need to spend time to get those data out. And today that's a trend, HR analytics. There are exclusive courses available today in various colleges, institute, MBA in HR analytics, MBA or in analytics, because that's the all about data now. Because today, at large, apart from the HR subject, if you see, data is the big game. It's a big player today, and everybody's want to use the data appropriately, use it for their own benefit. So analytics is a big topic today.
Sir, I think we don't have any more questions. So now I'd like to invite Vedika from second year MA HRM to render the vote of thanks.
Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. I, Vedika of second year MA HRM, take this wonderful opportunity to thank our esteemed speaker, Mr. Arun Kumar, Human Resource Manager at Kemin Industries, South Asia, for sharing his valuable insight and knowledge on the topic Human Resource Information System. I would like to share few key takeaways from today's session. HRIS is used to store and collect data on employees of the organization. It is a comprehensive and ongoing process. The major function of HRIS is namely recruitment, training, employee self-service, report and analysis, payroll, benefit administration, PMS, time and attendance. Steps to implement HRIS involves planning, analysis, designing, implementing, and maintenance. We are the future HRs in really work on the understanding provided by a lively speaker. Sharing is caring is an age-old proverb. True to this thought, I would like to thank our PG Department of HRM's pillar, our HOD, Dr.N.C. Martin, for arranging this webinar, and our professor Subatni for support and organize this webinar, providing us with an enlightening tour to the pragmatic arena of HR. Finally, I extend my gratitude to the participants from various professions and students. Kindly fill up the feedback form, which is provided in the chat box below with your name and email ID. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Vedika. Thank you so much. That was very kind of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Martin, to giving me the opportunity to come and share whatever I knew. I hope it made use for students.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was really a very insightful session we had.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, friends. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye.